All right. Hi, my name is Dr. Michelle Ihrig, and welcome to SAT with Doc. This is a free SAT prep program to help you be your very best on the SAT. And when I say free, I mean free. Okay, so basically you might have thought that we were going to meet today at 8 o'clock. However, we've changed our schedule. Last week, the kids who had been signed up to the Remind, I sent out a form for them to fill out to let me know what they were thinking in terms of moving forward. And then based on the data from that form, I devised the schedule. So let me pull it up real quick just to show you. And I felt like we had some really great things come up from people. For example, I had originally done most of the sessions for 8 o'clock, but the forms said that a lot of people preferred for us to go at 6. So here's the responses to the form that we had. So first question was, which do people prefer? Do you prefer to have one longer session that covers both topics, math and reading? Or do you prefer to have one shorter session and have math and reading on different days? And so overwhelmingly of the people who responded, the goal was to have math and reading on different days. So that helped dictate how we have the calendar, and I'll talk about that coming up. Then I thought about, the question was, all right, what about, are people preferring to go onto YouTube to watch, or do we want to do something different? And the results of the survey said that most people preferred to have multiple live sessions about the same topic instead of having to rely on YouTube. So that also helped dictate our session. This next question was, what is the ideal length of the SAT prep section? Based on this survey, I ended up, each session will be about 60 minutes. It might go a little bit longer. And then I have double days. I have a 6 o'clock and an 8 o'clock session. So people who just want to get all of SAT prep out all at one time, they can come to the 6 o'clock session and then come to the 8 o'clock session, and I'll explain that coming up in a second. Based on times, and most of these were done, I think, by COLA people who might not be involved in school sports as much, but it seemed every day of the week was relatively equal. 6 days was the magic number for that. And then some people said, of course, Saturday and Sunday also might have worked. So that helped dictate our plans from there. Let me just check to see if this is a remind from someone. Nope. And then on school nights, overwhelmingly, people preferred 6 o'clock, with some people preferring later. So every session has an option for 6 each week, one for math and one for English at 6. However, we are opening this up to anyone in the world who wants to come. And so 6 o'clock for other kids, for example, in Texas, they're an hour behind. I think in Colorado, they're 2 hours behind. In California, they're 3 hours behind. So 6 o'clock wouldn't work for them, which is the motivation behind having a 6 o'clock and an 8 o'clock stream, as well as for the people who just want to stay on. Like if you just want to get it done in a day, that is what that is about. Okay, the next question I had asked was if you're interested in completing the SAT on a Saturday while live streaming. It's really, really important to get at least 1, if not 2, practice SATs in before you take the SAT for your first time. This will help build your confidence and let you know like how amazing you are. And so because overwhelmingly 2/3 of people are at yes or maybe, I built 2 practice SATs in that you can consider coming to. And then the next thing to show you is all these links. I was just getting myself confused. So the main link that you need to know the rest of your SAT life is satwithdoc.com. Yeah, that's it, satwithdoc.com. So when you go there, I just built the site for free. I know that top link is blah, 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 but if you go to satwithdoc.com, it'll take you here. Basically, it's just all the links that you need to know in one place. So I have the Twitch live stream at the top. I also have the Twitch live stream here. If you need the remind codes, you can click down and join the Remind. If you're a South Gwinnett student, you would do SGHS SAT. The reason is because I'm going to give you specific information that just applies to South Gwinnett High School, so that's why you would join that one. If you're a Cobb student, I have Cobb SAT. Honestly, that's mostly just so I can track how many Cobb folks are participating. And then if you're anybody else who doesn't go to South Gwinnett High School or Cobb County Schools in Georgia, pick any one of those. Everyone's going to get the same information. South Gwinnett will get a little bit more information just because of how I know how they have to sign up. I'm working with Dr. Steven to help you do that. Okay, this YouTube link is going to take you to our YouTube channel, which as I do the different sessions, I will put them up here, and I'll even put up the duplicates just because some people learn better from others. So that is what that is for on that link. Okay, this Twitch live stream, I'm not going to click. It's our Twitch channel. This SAT prep schedule is going to take you down here, and this schedule is built off of that survey. So remember, on the survey, most people wanted to meet at 6 o'clock. Most people wanted to have multiple sessions, like not just have English and math in one long session. They wanted shorter sessions. So if you look at this, I tried to color code it. It's not coming up perfectly on the screen, but I've got like red, orange, yellow. This week, there's no live streaming. Green, and then blue and purple, we got double streams the week before the SAT. So basically what you would decide is every week. Now, when I say need, when I say required, I'm not saying like you have to come. Like, I might take attendance and collect information because I'm a person who's obsessed with data, but I'm not going to be like, oh, you didn't come this day, you're in trouble. I'm not calling your parents. I'm just like, that's not what it's about. If you want to get the best, biggest bang for your buck, every week you would come to one ELA session and one math session, because I'm going to teach that same ELA content at both sessions, so you don't need to come for both. So if you're a person who's like, I just want to get this baby out of the way, come at 6 o'clock on Monday. We'll get the ELA done, finish between 7 and 7:15. We'll have a break, and then we'll pick up the math at 8 o'clock. Or if you want to come 6 o'clock on Monday, 6 o'clock on Tuesday, you can do that. It doesn't matter to me, but each week will have a new ELA content, and it'll have a new math content from there. And again, this is at satwithdoc.com is where you can get the schedule. So if you notice, remember that about 2/3 of people were at yes or maybe of taking the practice SAT by live streaming. So that will be done on February 4th. The deadline to register without paying any late charges to register for the actual SAT is Friday, February 10th, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. There is no live sessions the week of February 19th because the county that I work for, Cobb County Schools in Georgia, we are off that week for a break in February, and I don't feel like streaming then. But that is a great time for you to add your extra hours of Khan in a week. And Khan Academy is super important. The College Board partnered with Khan Academy, and they get exclusive content from the College Board. And the College Board is the one who writes the SAT. The artificial intelligence, like Bill and Melinda Gates, like so many different foundations, funnel money into Khan Academy. And so the AI and the artificial intelligence and the algorithms that these scientists and engineers have come up with are flippin' amazing. And so basically, if you can get yourself to hit 20 hours of Khan Academy, like you take a practice test on Khan, which we're going to be doing on February 4th, if you can get another 20 hours in, research shows that kids' scores for just 20 hours of using Khan's AI with fidelity, like you're not like on one thing for 2 hours, can raise SAT scores almost 100 points. Actually, some data says over 100. So that's why we're doing our sessions and we're doing that. So together we'll have about 12 hours of live streaming. I'll be doing 24 hours of live streaming. And then if you adding on the SAT practice tests from there, with our goal of SAT practice day being March 11th. Now there are upcoming tests beyond here. I'm not yet sure if we're going to do all of them or not. Okay, I originally was going to set up a Google Classroom account, and I've decided I don't want to do that. So in that folder, it's not there yet, but every session when we have documents, I'm going to put the PDFs here for you to use, because I'm not technically allowed to put them on the internet because I got them from several amazing teachers on a site called Teacher Paying Teachers, and I love the site. So that's that piece of it. The Khan Academy account, I would love it if you could click that link and join our SAT. I'm not going to continue joining. The reason is This last week down here, where we have like all these different sessions going, Khan Academy gives your teacher coaches data in terms of which topics kids do phenomenal at and which topics there's room for growth. And so if you can link and not just do Khan on your own, but if you can link to my SAT class in Khan, that will help inform me to devise a program, especially that last week, that's going to support the most of you at one time. And so that is why I ask that you join Khan. All right, registering for the SAT. So that link takes you to the site. I want to make it perfectly clear that I don't register you for the SAT. Like, I help you do SAT prep. I give you a systematic approach that has worked lots of times with other students, but I can't register you. You have to register yourself, and it does cost money unless you are a student who receives free and reduced lunch services at your school. You can either take it for free or a reduced price, and the person you would talk to would be your guidance counselor at your school. So this is how you register. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to register, and they're going to ask you a crap load of questions. They're going to ask you for your name, your address, your parents' names, what level of college did your second cousin have? Not that, but they ask you a ton of questions. So again, I have no power to register you for the SAT. You need to click this link, and you need to do that with your family and get yourself registered, or talk to your guidance counselor, because guidance counselors like to help kids. So, talk to your guidance counselor. Down here, this is not, I guess it is clickable. I didn't even intend for it to be clickable. SAT with Doc is another way that you can email me if the remind codes are not like your thing. Okay, down here, I do have other links. I have a link to my Instagram account, which has like 5 followers for this new thing because I just started. I'm also an author, so the Amazon link connects to that. And someone told me, I don't even know how to pronounce that word, Patreon maybe. Someone told me to create an account, so I did. I'm not tracking it. I don't care, but whatever. It's there, but I'm not tracking it or anything like that. All of this is intended to be free. But if you do well or whatever, it's there, but I'm probably not going to talk about it ever again. Okay, here's the expectations. First, do your best to focus for each 1 hour session. I get that you are going to be tired and exhausted. I'm going to be tired and exhausted. I have the craziest work hours. I don't get home till 4:30. It's nuts. And then I'm going to be teaching 2.5 to 3 hours straight on Mondays and Tuesdays for the most part, except for the Valentine's Day Tuesday, I moved that session to Wednesday. So I get it. I'm going to be feeling exhausted and tired too, but I'm still going to give you my best the whole time. And so I just ask that you give the best to yourself, because I can't monitor if you're giving your best and focused. You can. And if you do, you're going to be really proud about what can happen. The next thing is to sign up for Khan, as we already talked about, and striving for 4 hours a week. I really would like you to take the practice test on Khan with no distractions. If you kind of click through the practice test, the artificial intelligence in Khan is not going to be able to know what you know and what you don't know. And so it might end up having you review stuff that you already know, or not have you review stuff that you don't know because you guessed without trying. So as long as you try your best, the AI is amazing. These engineers are incredible. So please go ahead and do that. Okay, next, number 4, be nice. Keep the chat PG. I'm still learning how to do the chat, but I don't want to have to monitor the chat for people being dumb. So don't be dumb, be nice. Okay, last, have fun, ask questions, and believe in yourself. I think one of the hardest things for me is I usually teach on Zoom, or I used to teach this in person before I moved districts. And so kids would ask questions all the time and unmute and get my attention. So one of the things that'll be my struggle will be monitoring the chat to answer your questions. You probably have a question that somebody else has. So I just want you to feel free. You can interrupt me. I'll try to learn the chat better so I can help you to the best of my ability. But I do have a prescribed plan that I've used for years, and it's super helpful. And so that's what we're going to end up going through. All right, again, this is the calendar that we already talked about. You only need 1 math and 1 ELA session a week. If you miss it, you miss it. The world will not end. It's on YouTube if you want to watch it. The resources will be in the Google Drive account. Again, your main point is satwithdoc.com, satwithdoc.com. And give it to anyone. Anyone can come. It doesn't matter to me. Just come. Those are the codes. And then the last thing on the bottom is, you're amazing. In case you didn't know that, you are amazing. And I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy. I'm going to try to make it as fun and engaging as I can. But the great news is if you can commit to and give your all, just for the next like 6 weeks, starting next Monday, you might not ever have to think about the SAT again. I only took the SAT once, and I wasn't going to like a fancy dancy school, and I got a 1250 my first time. But I worked my buns off studying for the SAT before I took it. And I got a 1250. The schools I wanted to get into had an 1100. I did not have a growth mindset to study and try to get higher. I didn't care about getting perfect grades. But my point is, I only needed to take it once. And there are kids who have gone through these programs before that only had to take it once. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to close by taking you to my website real quick, just so I can show you the SAT data, because I'm pretty sure I have it on here. So if you look at right here, so this is the SAT data from when I did this in another school district. I haven't collected new data since I left and switched school districts. So you can see here, their average score was nothing over 1,000, right? Nothing over 1,000, kids studying on their own, not like they were just doing their own thing. Some parents paid for people, etc. So then I started doing SAT prep for free. We embedded goal setting, which we're going to be talking about. We talked about growth mindset, about trying your best, not giving up, about pushing through, even though it sucks, for the next 6 weeks. Look at what their scores became. 1053, 1059. We had a dip in 1043 and 1010, and then went up to 1074 and 1088. Overall, their mean score jumped from 981 to 1055. And it's literally just by going through this program I'm giving to you for free. There's no upcharges. There's no exclusive content that costs hundreds of dollars. It just costs you showing up and trying your best. That's literally all it costs. So if you can show up and try your best, you're going to be amazed. Like, I don't know how else to say it. You have so much greatness inside of you, like you don't even know how awesome you are. And even if putting all this time in, 40 hours, 12 hours with me, maybe some time on Khan and the SATs, like even if you put the 40 hours in and your score only goes up like 50 points, holy moly, it still went up 50 points. Like, that's huge. And so that's why we take the time to do this. It's just, you show up with me 2 days a week, try to squeeze SAT Khan Academy in, maybe when you're in the lunchroom, maybe when you're on a bus, maybe while you're on your break for work, just do a few questions. It's just, I can't even tell you how many, I mean, look at that. That's significant change because people decided to try. And I just wish the best for you, and I am here for you. You can remind me, you can email me. I hate cell phones, so I won't necessarily get back to you right away. Don't take it personally. I just don't like technology. And when I'm thinking and busy doing something, I don't look at my phone. So that is one addiction I don't have. So don't take it personally. I'll get back to you. I just might not necessarily get back to you right away. See, there's the phone right now. And now it's going to be one of you being like, did you just say you don't look at your phone? But anyway, but that's it. So that is the plan. I'm going to end this. Yep, it was someone on Remind. So I'm going to end this stream right here. You might see me go live a couple more times throughout the week, but just for me practicing, I'm using I'm using OBS instead of Twitch Studio, so I'm still kind of learning that. And that's it. So thank you guys for coming. I'll see you Monday at 6 or 8 or Tuesday at 6 or 8. Bye-bye, guys.